Episode 9 is set to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing in this film has all to do with the various connections to, of course, the prequels and the originals, as well as other forms of the Disney canon of the Star Wars franchise that will be introduced in Episode 9. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and what's really intriguing about Episode 9 has all to do with the characters of Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker, and even the character of Rey, and this also has to do with actor Hayden Christensen. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing is that it's described that during reshoots for Episode 9, which is set to begin in just a couple of weeks from today, there are plans in place in order to get Hayden Christensen on set during the month of June for a scene that will involve both Rey and Luke Skywalker inside of the Jedi ruins within the Lost City. It's said to be a sequence in which both Force ghosts of Anakin and Luke appear in front of Rey and R2-D2. It's described that fresh dialogue is needed for the sequence, as well as an actual actor to play the part of Anakin Skywalker, as the unused footage from the prequels are limited for some of the planned angles to be used in the scene. It's said that Hayden is set at the very least to provide lines of dialogue of the character of Anakin, and that there are plans to get Hayden Christensen to portray the character of the light side version of the Force ghost of Anakin, as well as Anakin next to Luke Skywalker in front of both Rey and R2-D2. It's described to be a scene that is a reunion between both father and son, as well as a sequence in which Rey learns an important lesson from the true Skywalkers. So what's really intriguing about all of this is that this is something that I think a lot of fans wanted to see in, of course, either The Force Awakens and or The Last Jedi, was to have a father and son reunion in, of course, the sequel trilogy that is set to end the Skywalker saga. Now, this to me, it sounds like a great plan by JJ and crew in order to really respect the Skywalker family and to especially respect the character of Anakin. Because at the very end of the day, whether you guys want to agree with it or not, that's perfectly fine. But a majority of Star Wars fans, I think, would definitely have to say that Anakin Skywalker really is the true face of the Star Wars franchise, since it all really started with Anakin Skywalker as a boy on Tatooine, getting discovered by Qui-Gon Jinn and being introduced into this world, where he eventually becomes the character of Darth Vader. So moving past all of this, the fact that this scene specifically needs fresh dialogue and, of course, new shots for the character of Anakin Skywalker, since a lot of the unused footage from the prequels just doesn't fit this scene in particular, for the scene involving both Rey, R2-D2, and Luke Skywalker, as well as Anakin. So, we actually heard about this a couple of weeks ago, and this all definitely does fit directly into what we discussed, is a scene was actually planned that involved both Rey, and of course, both Luke, Anakin, and R2-D2 in front of a bonfire within the Jedi ruins, specifically within the Lost City. So this is without a doubt the exact same sequence that J.J. Abrams plans to have Hayden Christensen on board, physically on set, and also providing dialogue for the scene, in order to really truly, bind the entire Skywalker saga together, and to really wrap it up in a respectful way. So when we look at Star Wars as a whole, we do know that this movie really does have a lot to offer. We also know that Disney and Lucasfilm are using this movie as a course correction technique, which, one would have to say that that's also a risk as well. The fact that they are throwing in a lot of nostalgia in this film, as well as a lot of fan service. If you think about fan service, it's all great and all, as well as it's written, and pretty much executed in a very good way on the big screen, to the point where a lot of fans are just going to agree with what's going on in the movie. So the other piece that I do want to go over, what's really intriguing to me, is that reshoots are actually set to begin as early as late April of 2019, and that's going to actually go all the way to the month of June. And then once they're all done with reshoots, man, that's like, once they're pretty much done with reshoots, they're basically in the home stretch of completing post-production. At that point, they're usually done around September, October, give or take. So they're almost there once they reach June. Now, with that being said, guys, I gotta say, this movie really does have a lot going for it. We are just 3 days away from Celebration and 4 days away from the actual teaser trailer and the title reveal of this movie. Now, we do know that the title is actually going to be involved with the MacGuffin, which is a plot device that moves the plot forward in this story, so keep an eye open for that. The fact that the title is going to have something to do with the evolving plot device in this movie that also has something to do with the character of Anakin Skywalker. So that's another thing to really keep note of here for the film. As far as Anakin goes, being portrayed by Hayden Christensen, I mean, it's just respectful. It's a great thing to do by Disney and Lucasfilm, JJ and crew, and I think that they really do have to stay true with the Hayden Christensen as Anakin that we all know and love, in, of course, Revenge of the Sith and in Return of the Jedi. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.